it's DJ Wonder Chrissy, and today we're here to talk about Illinois and why you don't want to move here. Just some facts for you. We have the nation's highest tax rates. We have the nation's second highest property taxes and the nation's second highest gas tax, which just keeps going up every 6 months due to a law that they signed a couple years ago. And we are the nation's leader in pension debt. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. The economy here is pretty much being kicked down the road like a good old Coke can on a regular basis. Leading the way, probably the worst is Chicago. Before the pandemic, the police fire, and teachers union pensions were probably 30-35% funded. I just saw an article a couple weeks ago in the Chicago Tribune, and those pension funds are now being at the 22 to 24% funding rate, where a normal, well-managed pension fund would be like in the 80 to 90%. Chicago, I just saw, we got a mayor's race going on in Chicago, and there's like 9 people running, and some of them realize they need to raise taxes, but they're getting very creative. I saw one guy, he wanted to start taxing the commuters on Metra to pay for the deficit in Chicago. The deficit, from what I heard, was for next year is in Chicago is going to be $500 million deficit. So they need to come up with revenue from somewhere. The federal government saved the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago the last couple of years. If you don't know, we received $40 billion, that's with a B, from the federal government during the pandemic, and that really smoothed over a lot of our problems. At the time, I think the pensions were having a hard time of things, but obviously by those pension numbers, things are getting worse. I mean, Chicago police, I believe they're got like 2,000 are quitting or retiring on a yearly basis. One guy in the Chicago mayor's race said his solution was to merge the Chicago pension funds with the state, which really ain't going to help, but they've already done that for some other things in the state. And there's an example of just kicking the can down the road. Taxes here, 5%, your income tax is 5%, 5.25%. There's an outflow of at least 1,000 people a year here. A month. There's 1,000 people leaving the state. It's one of the top 4 Uhaul leaving states in the nation. They're all going to non-tax states in warmer climates such as Florida, Arizona, and Texas. I know a person that moved to Florida and it was cheaper. U-Haul actually charges a different rate. If you were to try to get a U-Haul in Illinois, you would have to reserve one like 2-3 months in advance, and they're going to charge you more. So I had a friend that moved to Tampa Bay. They actually saved money by driving their car to Tampa Bay, picking up a U-Haul, driving it back to Chicago, and then loading their belongings on it to head back to Tampa Bay. They saved over $1,000 by doing that. Can you believe that? They actually had, had to add some extra days onto their travel and their moving, but they saved some money. That's how crazy things have gotten. Like I said, the city of Chicago is having a mayoral election coming next week, I believe. Hopefully they'll get rid of Lori Lightfoot, but I'm sad to say at this point things are so broken in the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago that these elections really don't matter at this point. It's over. And here's another reason why. Our biggest, or the person that earned the most income every year just left last year and took his company with him. That would be Ken Griffin, who donated, probably 5 years ago, he donated $1 million to the city of Chicago to upgrade the lakefront paths that were in disrepair and falling into the lake. Just last year, he made the big move by taking his company. I forget the name of the company. Citadel Capital. Moved to Miami, Florida, folks. Took his billions of dollars with him. I'm sure he also paid a huge chunk of taxes to our state, which they're not going to see anymore. Other states have done that. They've tried to tax the rich and the ultra rich, and they move. Connecticut was, go look, maybe 15 years ago, Connecticut tried to tax the ultra rich, and their response was they just got up and moved. So, yeah, the frying pan's hot here in Illinois. Anyone in their right mind will not move to Illinois anytime in the future. And if you do live here, you might want to get out. I know several people that are in the process of getting out. I know at least 10 to 15 people that have left in the last 2 to 3 years. So it's real. The flight is real. It's not fake. People are making some great decisions by leaving this place, and the taxes are only going to get worse, guys. So that's all I have for today. Sorry to depress you if you live in the state of Illinois, but look for your taxes to go up. Look for your services to go down. It's all about taxes, and they don't have enough. And that's it. Goodbye.